It's important for us to start talking about why we must start doing energetic self-treatment every day. And that's what this video is all about. We'll start the video by sharing what is energetic self-treatment. What does this look like? Why do we do this? But what I'd really love to do is share with you the top 4 reasons why I feel that it's so important that we all implement this into our daily lives. Because we're all in a new time, and we're all in new bodies now. And so there's more ownership that each one of us is being asked to take over taking care of these bodies. So before we get into the 4 main reasons, I'd like to share with you what I mean by energetic self-treatment. Practically speaking, this is literally just time that you take every single day to not do anything outside of your body, but to direct all of your attention and your breath into your body. Our bodies are made 100% of energies of all different frequencies. Some of the energy flows really well and readily, and other energy gets kind of stuck. And so every day, it's important that we get inside, that we clear out those energies that are stuck. Now, they may have been stuck because of something way back in our youth, like our childhood, that really never got felt, an emotion that got kind of stuck. And we all have a lot of energy that got stuck in our bodies from our early childhood years. We also have a lot of energy that gets stuck on a day-to-day basis. Anytime we push something off for later and never get back to it, a feeling that we just don't really want to feel, for example, or an outcome that we just really don't want to face of some event that happened in our lives, that's energy that gets stuck in your body somewhere, and it creates waves, dissonance, a sense of being disconnected and scattered. And then you wonder why you don't feel well. It's because we have a lot of dense energy in our bodies that just need to flow. They just want to move. Energy only wants to move. And the one person on this planet who's designed to do that work, to clear that energy, to bring it out of that state where it gets stuck back into its flow state is you. So that's why it's important for us to do this. So a self-clearing practice is where you move into your body, and I will offer you some tools at the end of this video to begin this process, because I know it can be a little bit elusive when we start talking about, well, how do I even clear energy? Know that your body has a channel that runs right through the center of it, just in front of your spinal cord, in fact, and it runs down through the bottom of your pelvis to the earth, and then up through the top of your head to the sky. And it's continuously breathing and moving and pulsing energy from the sky through the body down to the earth and right back up again. And along the way, there are many energy centers, these swellings of energy inside of your body that distribute this energy to your neurology, to all of the tissues and cells of your body. So we're literally being breathed energy, and that energy comes through every single cell of your body. So when we go into our bodies and we start connecting in with this channel and all these energy centers and start moving into each one of the centers and sequentially breathing in each one, energy that gets stuck there will move through. It's that simple. So let's get into the top 4 reasons why now, more than ever before, it is imperative that you incorporate some kind of a self-clearing energetic healing process into your day. So number 1 is sovereignty. This is a time on the planet when we are all being asked to step more into ourselves, to find our own power, to find our own truth, to have our own voice, and feel the truth that is only ours and nobody else's. We have been fed information from the outside world since the moment we came here, through our educational systems, through mainstream media, through all of these outside influencing factors, our parents, our friends, our loved ones, our colleagues, and our own voice gets lost. So inside of each one of us, we have our own truth, our own resonance. And now more than ever before, it's really important that we find that truth. But the only way that we can begin to tease away what's mine and what's yours is by getting into the body and clearing out the energetic density, the scattered energy that makes it so that we don't even know what our truth is. We have been told, let's just talk about the medical system. We've been told what to do. We've been told what medications to take. We've been told what procedures to receive. We've been told so many things from our medical professionals. And so we leave the offices of our doctors oftentimes really confused, not knowing what our, ultimate truth is in the matter, because we're basically given dictates about what's best for us. And this isn't effective anymore. We all have to feel into our own bodies to know what is going to be true for us, what's going to help us the most to stay whole and healthy in our own bodies. Our doctors are supports, and they can offer solutions, but if you are not in your own body and finding your own truth in your own body, then you're not going to know what's best for you. This is not a one-size-fits-all healthcare system. This is you take the solutions that are being offered to you and run it through your own truth sensor. The only way that you're going to know what that is if you're clear, if you're connected, and if you're open to receive the guidance that comes to all of us from higher sources. So that's why it's so important now for us to all step more fully into our sovereignty, to take back our power, to make our own choices, because our bodies get sick when we're influenced by outside forces. So the more that we can become our own healers, the more sovereign we become to make choices that are aligned in our everyday lives, reclaiming our health. And that is what this is all about. Reclaiming our health, reclaiming our power, reclaiming our truth. Number 2, source. Self-healing practices, energetic clearing practices will connect you back into source. So source energy is what made you. It's what heals you. It is responsible for growth and development of every single cell in your body. And there's an active relationship that's looking to take place here. So when we live our lives and we're scattered and we're distracted by our lives, there is so much that we have to do in our everyday lives, more now than ever before. We forget that we are being loved and breathed and held and healed by one source, the energy that made you, the energy that is with you in every moment of your lives. This energy pours through you. It pulses through that central channel that runs vertically in front of your spinal cord. And just by going inside and beginning to connect in with this energy, you are reconnected to source, which holds the vibration of pure love. So when you go into your body and you start doing your own energetic self-healing, you get reconnected to source, which means you get to feel amazing. When you're feeling really unglued, stressed out, maybe you're just feeling really depleted, like your whole body just needs to lie down and go to bed, but you know that you can't do that. Just by going into your body and breathing into that channel, connecting yourself back into that beautiful, wide open source energy that is always there, making that conscious intention to connect, you are filled. We catalyze that connection by intending to connect with it. Well, that's how powerful we are. As soon as we create the intention to connect to source energy and then follow that with the action to go inside, closing down our eyes, quieting down our minds, connecting to our breath, and literally being in the channel that is that of source energy pulsing through us, we reestablish that connection. But it's important to know that it doesn't just happen. We actually have to do some work. And so that's number 2, why it's so important that we practice these things every single day. Because the more that you practice connecting to source, connecting to your channel, connecting to your internal energetic system, the more you'll remember to do it during the course of your life. We forget. When we get distracted, we forget. We are both soul and human, and the human's quite dense. The soul is not. So when we connect into source, we're brought back to the frequency of soul, of love, of pure connection, of that beautifully expanded state that we all love so much, that we don't often connect in with enough. So the more that you practice this daily, the more you'll remember to take those tiny little pauses throughout the course of your day to get back into your channel and to connect in with source. Okay, so that brings us to number 3, and these are your symptoms. So let's talk about symptoms in the body. Symptoms in the body, they can be physical symptoms, they can be emotional symptoms. We can feel really depressed, we can feel really agitated and angry, we can feel a lot of pain, we can feel just unglued in every way. Symptoms are nothing more than dense, scattered energy sitting somewhere in your body that has been there for a long period of time, and your body gets pretty persuasive that it just wants that energy to get back into a circulatory flow. And so if those energies stay in that stagnant, dissonant, dense state for too long, they get more and more and more compressed. And then in the middle of that compressed pocket of energy, you become anaerobic, right? The oxygen, the flow, the energy doesn't get into the middle of it, and it creates pressure and pain. So we get all kinds of physical symptoms in our body when energy has been basically sequestered down there for too long. So these symptoms, again, are dense collections of energy that have been sitting in your body for perhaps your whole life. Sometimes it's something that you just didn't feel. It comes in the form of a huge emotion. Part of that emotion gets felt. The other part of the emotion, which is just energy in motion, gets pushed into the crevices of your body somewhere. And then it rises to the surface. Maybe it seeds itself into your right shoulder, for example, and creates all kinds of pain there. What do? We've been told to go to our doctors, to get a shot, to have a surgery, to go to physical therapy, to stretch, to strengthen. And if you've ever had shoulder pain, as I have, you'll know that those solutions are only minimally effective. I have learned, because of my lifetime of being an athlete, and I've had so many orthopedic injuries, that by going to a doctor, a physical therapist, a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, by doing more exercise, by doing less exercise, by stretching, by having injections, you name it, that those solutions offer temporary relief or partial relief. The way to get our body to be whole, connected, and flowing again is to access that inner channel, to do our own self-clearing work. The only way to get energy to move is by accessing it from the inside out, not from the outside in. We can have support from the outside, but if we don't meet it with our own inner self-healing, it's ineffective. It's skin-deep solution, okay? So the way for us to find true resolution, to move the energy out of stagnation, is to access it from within the channel, get into the energy center that feeds into, we'll use the example of the right shoulder, which is going to be your heart center number 4 and your throat center number 5, to get into those two energy centers from the inside and move that from the inside out, clearing out the dense energy through the body. Symptoms are on the rise right now. Our whole earth is changing on an energetic level, and also our bodies are changing on an energetic level. And so we are, many of us, if not most of us, are experiencing more symptoms. We wake up one day and we feel like we've been hit by a truck overnight, just in our sleep. So these are going to continue. A lot of the symptoms that we're experiencing fall under the category of ascension symptoms. And I'm going to be doing a whole video on ascension and what this means on the earth, but more importantly, what this means in your body. Because a lot of times when we have physical or emotional symptoms, it has nothing to do with anything physically going wrong in your body. In fact, all symptoms begin on the energetic level, deep within your body first, and then later rise to the surface, where they start to get more persuasive that this is energy that you, more than anybody else, needs to look at and clear. Okay, so that is number 3 as far as why it's important for us to be doing daily self-clearing energetically, so that we can move these symptoms, which is just stuck dense energy in the body, through. We can catalyze healing. That's not to say that doing one practice one day is going to bring that symptom to resolution. This is the daily commitment that we're talking about. So if you can get into your body every day without expectation, without needing to know when the symptom is going to resolve, but going into your body for the pure reason that you know that you are a self-healer, that you know that you are a sovereign being capable of self-healing. That is your truth. That is the truth. And just knowing that begins the process of healing. And then we go in with a system, with structure, with tools. That brings us to number 4, and that is service. We are all being called to dive into our own bodies in new ways now. And the reason is this. This planet is sick, and the people are sick. Fear is the pandemic that we're all immersed within right now. The more that we get into our bodies and start connecting into our channel, that channel which brings source love into ourselves again, we start to feel better. We start to feel calmer, more peaceful, more connected. We start to feel things moving and changing. We realize that we are potent self-healers, and that there's nothing outside of us that can harm us. As a result of doing our own work every day, we begin to change and remodel energetically on the inside. Our frequency changes, and as a result of that, we walk around on the planet with a different frequency. We hold the vibration of love when we do these self-clearing practices. And then we go out into the world and we offer, just by being in the presence of another being, that same vibration. Love is felt. Love is healing. Love is the ultimate solvent. And so just by holding the energies of love, because you're doing your own work, you're clearing out your own energies and your own densities, you are of service to this planet. You are of service to your family. You are of service to our communities. You are of service because you have a biofield that is now emitting love. And someone next to you, standing in the checkout line at the grocery store, who's feeling tremendous amounts of fear about being in the grocery store, all of a sudden feels this energy coming off of you, and maybe they feel just a little bit calmer. Maybe you talk to somebody about the self-clearing practices that you do every day, and you help them, right? We have to start supporting and healing one another. But for number 1 first, we do it within ourselves. When we get into our own bodies, that is then the overflow that others in our lives will feel. So if we're in service professions, we're healers, we're doctors, we're teachers, or what have you, we can show up with a greater vibration, emission of love, and just being in our presence heals and helps others. And then maybe somebody will come up to you and say, wow, you feel amazing. What are you doing? And you can talk to them. Share this information. Share the fact that, wow, guess what? I've been doing this energetic self-clearing every day. It's amazing. I feel so much better. We don't know what's coming on this planet. We have no idea what tomorrow brings. That's true. That's always been true, but it's even more true now because there are greater uncertainties on the planet now than ever before. And so in order for us to be able to get ready for whatever it is that's coming our way, we must anchor into our body, connect into our energetic centers and channel, bring through that source love, connect every single day, move those symptoms through so that we don't get pummeled by them every single day, and then we are there to be of service. So these are the 4 most important reasons why it's important for us to all commit to daily self-energetic clearing. So here's one way you can begin. Find a seated position. I recommend sitting because we have a vertical channel. When I'm lying down and I do this, it's not impossible, but I find it to be a little bit more challenging for my mind. Okay, so we have to kind of soothe the mind here. So this channel that we have, it is vertical. It runs from the earth up through the whole body and then into the sky. And this energetic channel has these beautiful energy centers along the way. There are many of them in your body, as I mentioned. The most potent, powerful energy center in your whole body comes right into the middle of your chest. It's the combination of your third energy center and your fourth energy center. Right now we'll just call it the heart center for ease. So when you get into your seat, and you can do this if you're supported, I'm on a stool right now, so you can do it while sitting on a stool. The most important thing is that your back is as straight as you can get it. Your shoulders are down, relaxed, your head is right over your shoulders, and that you're sitting directly on your sits bones. That opens up that energetic channel. The next step is for you to close your eyes and take your inner attention, your view, and put it into the middle of your chest. When you start to breathe, shift from breathing air to seeing that the air that you're breathing in is actually energy, because it is. But we have to use our imagination, which really isn't imagination, by the way. Whatever we believe, whatever we see, whatever we think is real energy. Okay, so when you take a breath in, see that that breath is now this beautiful gust of energy that's coming right into the middle of your heart center, and it expands the heart center. So one way that I love to do a self-clearing practice is to use my hands. I have a lot of training in feeling energies, so if you don't feel what I'm talking about, just play with this. Enjoy the practice. Enjoy trying something brand new. This is a skill that might just surprise you. We all actually have sensitivities that we've just been trained out of. So our hands are designed to feel energy in our body, outside of our body, in one another. And in fact, the heart, when it's open, flows, brings energy through the shoulders. It runs down your hands and out of your palms. So when our hearts are open, as I'm going to share with you now how to do to get into your body, we are literally exuding love frequencies through our palms, which is amazing. Okay, so let's go back. And if you're with me so far, you might just take your hands and place them in about a 3 to 6 inch space just in front of your heart, in front of that heart center, which is right in the middle of your chest. And let your hands just dance and move and flow. They may start to feel what could feel like a current or a pulsation. Magnetic pushing against your hands is what happens when your heart center starts to open. Energy starts to come out. Your palms then pick that up, and they may just start to tingle. You might feel pressure pushing into your palms. So play with this. Breathe into that center of your chest, and that'll bring more energy into the heart. And that pushes into the palms, and just see if you can feel it. Feel that expansion, okay? Now exhale and start to feel that the energy that came into your heart just a moment ago now starts to flow down, all the way down through the bottom of the pelvis and into the earth. Okay, when you take your next breath, breathe down from the earth. Maybe just find a spot that's 1 or 2 feet under you, and breathe that energy right into the middle of your heart and feel it expand. Feel that heart center open up. Maybe it pushes into your hands, maybe not. And it's okay if you don't feel anything at all. And then when you take your next exhalation, breathe the energy straight up through the top of your head and all the way up to the very top of the channel into the sky. Now take your next breath from the sky and let that energy pour down right through the top of your head and fill that heart center, opening it all the way up. And every time energy comes into the heart, it expands it even more, meaning then there's more energy that's coming down through your arms and through your palms. Again, take your next exhalation and let the energy now flow straight down through the channel and into the earth. And continue to breathe in this way. Breathing from the earth, you inhale into the heart, and then exhale from the heart all the way up into the sky, all the way through the very top of that source channel. Bring source energy right back down through the very top of your head. Let it flow into the middle of your heart. Open your heart up. And then exhale straight down to the earth. Okay. So this is one way to begin a self-clearing practice energetically. Just opening up your channel to the earth, opening up your channel to source sky, and bringing that energy into the heart to open your heart up so that the energy of love is starting to push out into your chest through your shoulders, down your arms, and into your hands will circulate energy that got stuck. When we have an open heart center and love, that vibration of love flowing with more abundance, being fed by source and earth energies, it clears out dense energies just by doing that simple one-step process. There's a lot more that we are capable of doing. There are many ways that we can move energy through our bodies. And so just play with this and feel the body. Feel what it is that changes within you from the time that you start doing this one-step process to the time that you end. Maybe you can set a timer on there's a lot of free meditation timers that you can download. One that I love is called Insight Meditation Timer, or maybe just a little timer on your phone, but set like a nice little chime so that it doesn't jostle you out from your practice. Start with 5 minutes a day and commit to that. You will be so amazed by how you feel from the beginning of a practice to the end. And the more that you implement this into your day, the more you'll start to want to do it. You'll recognize that, wow, when you're not doing this practice every day, you just don't feel as good. You don't feel as energized. You don't feel as anchored. You don't feel as grounded. Maybe your head doesn't feel very clear. Maybe you just feel kind of blah and down. But when you do these practices, there are some subtle changes. And the more that you commit yourself, the more time each day. It doesn't have to be an hour-long practice. It only takes a couple minutes to clear energy. The only thing that I recommend more than any other is just do it every day. Just a few minutes a day. And as we get into more videos that I'll be offering to you here, I'll offer more tools, more steps. I just wanted to give you the basics of why are we needing to do this now? This planet is changing. We're in a whole new ball game here, okay? And the more that we learn these techniques to get into the body, the easier this transition is going to be. This transition onto new earth and the transition into our new bodies. So I'm going to teach a healing intensive in January. On January 22nd, we're going to take a deep dive into ascension and what are the new energies that are on the planet, and why do our bodies feel a little bit out of balance right now? Why are we having more symptoms? Why are our sleep habits changing? Why is our appetite changing? Why? What's happening inside of the body? So on January 22nd, which is a Saturday, we'll have a 4-hour healing intensive so that we can start the day by getting a deep, powerful healing treatment to move dense energy out of the body. But the teaching session is really where we're going to go into what's really happening here and how are our bodies being affected by these changing energies, and then how do we work with these energies. I'll offer you a 10-step self-treatment process that I feel is the most powerful way that you can work with these dense energies in your body. So be on the lookout for that. I'll leave a link to sign up for that connected to this video.